Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to the LDM Show. I'm here with Omar from Scotland. Assalamu alaikum, bro.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
How you doing, bro?
Alhamdulillah, ala kulli hal. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, mashallah.
I love your beard, bro.
Jazakallah
Mashallah.
khairan. So today we're going to be discussing the topic of who created God. Right? It's a very common question that's asked. Where did God come from? Who created God? We believe in a creator. So I mean, it seems like a logical, reasonable sort of question, but when we delve into it, maybe you can explain why it's irrational.
You don't need to dive into anything, to be honest with you, because the fact that you're asking the question, it means that you've got a created God in mind. That you think that, like, for example, this book is very complex.
Yeah.
So therefore, the person who wrote it must be very complex. I've known people to write complex books, but then them themselves have a mental attitude of like a 4-year-old. You
Right.
understand that? That's an illogical question. Sometimes I feel like it's like dry rain.
Okay.
You understand? It's dry rain. It's very illogical. It's not something. For example, you get your atheistic prophets. Do you know why I call them prophets? The reason why I call them prophets is because the followers quote their books now. They're like, Richard Dawkins said in The God Delusion, page number this and verse number 4. Hang on, is this not what we do?
Yeah. I mean, in the book, the blind watchmaker,
Yeah.
right. He talks about the non-existence of God, and when you explain to them, well, that we believe in a creator,
Yeah.
the first question they ask you, well, who created that creator? So how would we answer this question?
Very simple. You can you can answer in many variety of ways, but one of the you just need to look at atheism or as in the last 100 years. What did they think in the 1950s? They thought that the universe was eternal.
Right.
So they don't actually have a problem with anything being eternal, because they never questioned who created the universe, because that man Bertrand Russell said that the universe is it, and that's it. Just believe it. It's there. What can you do about it?
Yes.
That's what he said, but it changed. Now, sooner as the problem they've got with is applying eternal to God, because their conception of God is that God is a man.
Yes.
When it's not. It's not. And there's a number of ways we can answer this. I mean, you can answer it, you can divulge into the infinite regress theory, if you keep asking this question.
What's infinite regress?
The infinite regress is, for example, is England when they get a penalty. Now imagine this would solve all of England's problems if Steven Gerrard, or whatever, however you do the Liverpool accent, when Steven Gerrard, when he goes to take the penalty, now imagine he had to ask the boss, he had to ask Roy Hodgson, and Roy Hodgson says, "Wait, I need to ask the FA secretary." The FA secretary says, "I need to ask my boss," and the boss says, "I need to ask my wife,"
Yes.
and he says, "I need to ask my mother-in-law." And we
Right.
know when the mother-in-law and the husband get into arguments, that's it. Nothing's going to happen. So therefore, the penalty will never get taken.
So you're saying, so if there was an infinite regress and you had to keep on asking for permission, this went on infinitely, basically the penalty will never be taken. Will never kick the ball.
It will never be taken. It will never kick the ball. So if you apply this to the universe, so in fact, first you have to establish, they have to recognize that there is a creator.
Right.
So in their mind that this creator is either created or uncreated.
Yep.
Now, is there a problem with an uncreated creator? Is there? You just need to ask them, is there a problem? If they say yes, what's the problem? But how can it be created? What we're saying is that you will need to create. You're giving attributes to God that only apply to creation.
So what you're saying, in fact, is basically we as Muslims, we believe that the creator sits outside of the universe.
Yes.
Right? So, and outside of the universe, the laws don't apply. So
Yep.
time, space, matter. It's quite interesting because Hawkins, in his book, he says like space, time, matter, the natural laws, they all came into existence as a result of the Big Bang.
Yep. Yep.
So prior to the Big Bang, there's no space, there's
Yep.
no time,
Yep.
there's no matter, there's no
Yep.
natural laws. So what we can infer from this,
Yep.
right, using our minds, is that the whatever caused the Big Bang
Yep.
must be eternal.
Yep.
Yeah, it must be infinite. Immaterial and supernatural.
Yep.
Right. So then, beyond space and time, the infinite, the eternal exists.
Yes.
That
This
makes
is
sense,
true.
right?
It makes sense. Now, Richard Dawkins, if you're listening, if you're ever watching this, you're actually a secret Muslim. You are. You're a secret Muslim. Your whole ideology of God is the only part is that who created the creator. We just dealt with your question there. Now, look at it logically. You said time, space, matter, everything came into existence at the point of the Big Bang. We agree with you, alhamdulillah, this is what we say. This is what Muslims say. Now, we're saying that God lies out with all of this. The rules of creation do not apply to God. So this God is not the Christian God, by the way. This is the Islamic God. who is transcendent to his creation, who is limitless, timeless. He's not bound by the six directions because the six directions are created. And so this is your own feeble, little, weak mind that you're trying to encompass God in. You can't do that. It's impossible. So become a Muslim.
Jazakallah khairan.
Jazakallah khair.
Barakallah fik. Assalamu alaikum.
Bird.